welcome back to Operation Evil. This is our Patreon bonus episode that we are releasing to everyone so they can kind of get a feel for what the bonus episodes sound like, which are the same as the regular, but in a secret society.
I got sour apple sucker stuck in my teeth.
I'm sorry. Yeah. We've been running around like crazy, work, dropping kids off, all the good stuff, right?
Fighting the winter storm.
The windstorm, more like it. Anyway, so I am covering the story of Madeleine McCann, which is an older story, and I'm sure you've probably heard it before, but there's a reason why I thought to tell it. But we'll just go into the story right away.
I can't wait.
I hope I don't disappoint.
I don't believe that you will.
All right. So on May 3rd, 2007, Madeleine McCann, who was only days away from her 4th birthday, vanished from a ground floor holiday flat 5A to be exact, in Praia da Luz in Portugal. According to her parents, she was whisked away in the night by a kidnapper while they dined with friends in a neighboring restaurant called Ocean Club that was only 130 feet away. I want to talk a little bit about who Madeleine was. Madeleine was born in May 2003, a long-awaited and very much longed for a little girl. This came from the findmadeleine.com site, which I'll talk about later. So this is what the parents were saying about her. Mm-hmm. She lives in the village of Rothley I'm not even going to try to pronounce this. But she lives with her mom and her dad and her twin siblings. Madeleine is a very happy little girl with an outgoing personality. She has always been a very popular little person, appealing to both children and adults alike with a funny and engaging chatter. She has many friends who obviously miss her dearly. Despite her young age, it often felt like Madeleine had been on this earth before. Like most girls her age, she likes dolls and dresses, and anything pink and sparkly, but with a definite taste for action and adventure too. She has an incredible amount of energy, and even as a little baby, didn't seem to need much rest. She enjoys running and swimming, and is an Everton fan. I don't know what that is, like her mom and granddad. Madeleine has always been a wonderful, loving, and caring big sister to her twin siblings. It was certainly not the quietest house on the planet, with lots of giggling, singing, and a lot of mischief. For the twins, there is without a doubt a very important person missing in their life. Madeleine is a warm, life-enriching little person and will never fail. We're sure to bring joy into the life of anyone she may encounter. Now, Madeleine McCann's parents, Kate and Jerry McCann, left her asleep with her 2-year-old twin brother and sister in one of the 2-bedroom apartments while they had dinner with friends. Every 20 to 30 minutes, they would get up and check on the children. They had been doing this all week, so it's been working out. And they had this routine down. Their friends that they're dining with are doing the same thing as well. So it makes you wonder if someone was watching this routine, if they've been doing this all week. The night she vanished, they put the kids down for the night, and around 8:30 p.m. they arrived at the restaurant. About 9:05 p.m., Jerry gets up to check on the kids. He went through the patio door, which was like a sliding patio door, and they left that unlocked, I guess, so they won't disturb the children as they enter, come and go in the back door. So just keep that in mind. About 9:25 p.m., Kate was getting up to check at the children, make sure everything's good, but their friend Matt went in to check on them because he was getting up to check on his own children. All was well. About 10 p.m., Kate went to check on the children this time, and she noticed the bedroom door was more open, and she noticed that there was more light coming through the room. She got to the door, and the wind slammed the door shut. She opened the door and this time realized that Madeleine's bed was empty, and the window was open and the shutters raised.
Oh, gosh.
In Kate McCann's book called Madeleine, she writes, quote, "When I realized Madeleine wasn't actually there, I went through to our bedroom to see if she'd gotten to our bed. That would explain the open bedroom door. On the discovery of the other empty bed, the first wave of panic hit me. As I ran back into the children's room, the closed curtains flew up in a gust of wind. My heart lurched as I saw now that behind them the window was wide open, and the shutters on the outside raised all the way up. Nausea, terror, disbelief, fear, icy fear. Dear God, no, please no." End quote. Kate ran screaming from the hotel that her daughter was gone, disappeared. 60 staff members and guests began searching for her until daybreak. Border police and airport staff, they were put on alert. Hundreds of volunteers joined in to try to find the girl over the next several days. The GNR, which is equivalent to the local police, were the first to arrive on the scene. And then the judicial police, which is the highest criminal investigative body in Portugal, they were like the FBI. They were also on scene as well. But evidence was ruined because many people were in and out of the crime scene. And it just reminds me of like John Bonet case.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
all the people in and out. I mean,
Yeah.
You're ruining evidence and anything that could be helpful. Now, Kate was insistent that Madeleine would not just wake up and wander off. One member of the McCann's friend group, her name was Jane Turner, remembered that she might have seen something extremely important. About 9:15 p.m. on the way back from checking in on her own children, she said she saw a man at the corner walking and carrying a child that was in PJs and had bare feet. Maybe she saw an abduction taking place. Around
Was
10.
was this the friend that she was having dinner with?
Yeah.
The mom and dad?
Yeah. Like, I don't know how many friends they were actually having dinner with, but it sounded like there was a group of them. So that was one of many. And around 10 p.m., Martin Smith and his family had seen a man carrying a little girl in pajamas too.
Mm.
Now, I want to touch base a little bit on, from what I understand, with the window being open, they were thinking that someone came through the window and took her and left through the window. But if you remember, the patio door was unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
I think that maybe the intruder could have got in or out through that. I don't know. I just wanted to throw that out there because I know in some reports they insist on the window theory, but I mean, we know the patio door was unlocked.
But I wonder, like, if this person was watching, I wonder if they didn't even think about checking the patio door, thinking that, it definitely would be locked.
Maybe. Or maybe he came in through the window and left out the patio. Because that would be hard to get a child through.
True. Because didn't you say that the patio door was left a little open, right?
Yeah, it was left unlocked so they could easily slide in and out because they were checking in every 20 to 30 minutes.
Was it, though, that the patio door wasn't shut all the way?
I think so. And it was like They said like the back patio. So it must be like a back way of going into the flat. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I just wanted to throw that out there. We're not really sure.
That's a puzzler.
Yeah, it is. Now, the Portuguese authorities will later be criticized for how they did their police work and conduct in the early hours of the investigation. They didn't conduct a house by house search of every local residence or even interview all the guests at the resort. They acted slowly to put roadblocks in place, even potentially compromise forensic evidence at the crime scene through just carelessness. For one of the documentaries that I saw too, it was easy for someone to take a child and be in a whole other country in an hour and a half. So,
an hour and a half?
Yeah, if I remember right. Yeah. So I don't know. Anything had happened. The police stated that they believed that Madeleine was still alive and had been abducted from the room by a stranger, as their parents described. On May 26, police issued a description of a man seen the night of Madeleine's disappearance. The one that the friend Jane Turner described, seeing someone carrying a child that we just talked about. So she described him as a Mediterranean man with dark hair and beige trousers, carrying a child close to the apartment when she went to check on her own children. And the sighting was later dismissed as a red herring. And I'm like, what's that? I've never heard that phrase. Or
yeah,
yeah. So I looked it up, and it means something that distracts attention from the real issue. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. So they dismissed it as that, like a distraction. I don't know. The McCanns set up Madeleine's fund called Leaving No Stone Unturned on May 15th to raise cash to support further investigation and keep the profile of the case high, attracting generous donations from celebrities like Richard Branson, Simon Cowell, J.K. Rowling, and Colleen Rooney. By May 30th, they were being flown out to meet the Pope at the Vatican. The police identified only one local suspect, a 33-year-old Briton named Robert Murat, who he lived for the past 2 years in the resort town with his mother, just 100 meters from the apartment where she was taken. Now, he played a key role in aiding police with translation in the first few days of the hunt, and he drew attention to himself, I guess because he was active, like, in the investigation.
Yeah, interjecting himself in the investigation. That's a classic.
It is a classic move. So automatically he becomes this, suspicious, I guess. He denied any involvement and he was not arrested. Police searched his house earlier with sniffer dogs, but reportedly found no evidence against him. They also examined his car as well as vehicles belonging to his friends and relatives.
Oh, and 100 meters is like 328 feet.
Thank you for looking that up, because we just don't just don't do that.
Yeah, and I still don't really know what 328 feet is either, but
I mean, it makes a little more sense though than meters to me.
Yeah.
So they had sniffer dogs out there, all that stuff, but they didn't find any evidence against him. They also examined his car and as well as vehicles belonging to his friends and relatives. Again, no evidence was found to link him to Madeleine, and everything was dropped. Now, by June, Portuguese police admitted that they had failed to protect potentially useful evidence at the scene, as frustration with the lack of developments grew, and the media began to question whether the McCanns themselves had been involved in the matter. Because let me tell you, this case was huge in the spotlight. It went global, international. Everybody knew what was happening with this little girl missing.
I remember the one thing was that them talking about how when they had to leave, from the vacation.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
Yes. Yeah. They um they went through a lot of stuff for sure. I mean, tabloids were out there suggesting that they or their friends might have been swingers, and that's why they were out, with dinner and drinking maybe, and just like really slandering their name. The McCanns were physicians, and they even used that in the tabloids, saying, "Oh, they were physicians, so they had a habit of sedating their children to make them sleepy and stay asleep, so they can go have dinner and have drinks with their friends."
What I it's almost like they tore them apart like they did the Ramseys.
Oh, they absolutely did, absolutely. And I do want to say about the McCanns, they had great careers. They were physicians, and both of them were. But Kate worked part time because she wanted to spend time with the children. They wanted kids so badly, and they tried for so many years to have kids, and they were just not successful. They had to eventually go the IVF route, and that's
Hmm.
when they were pregnant with Madeline, and she was the first born. And they were really happy to have her. I mean, they really purposely tried to have children. So I don't see how parents like this that would try so hard and eventually go this route would like purposely do
Yeah,
anything.
it doesn't make sense either because why wouldn't you get rid of the other two then
Right.
if it was
Yeah,
that thing? That doesn't make any sense.
it really doesn't. And I feel bad for them. I really do. So initially, they were named suspects. And in September 2007, when they were named suspects by the Portuguese police, the focus on the parents came after forensics tests revealed traces of Madeleine's blood found in the car that they rented 25 days after their daughter's disappearance. Again, this doesn't even make sense to me. 25 days after Madeleine disappears, they rented a car and they found forensic evidence. I don't know.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
It's just really weird to me. Now,
Like,
most
did the mom cut her hand or the dad or something? Like, that's
exactly, who
weird.
knows? Who knows? And they really did focus on the mom, on Kate, as the suspect. The girl's aunt said that the police suggested Madeleine might have been killed accidentally, and they offered Kate a plea deal if she confessed to it. And Kate McCann was questioned for more than 4 hours. And then her husband, Jerry, Madeleine's dad, he followed her into the police station for a separate round of questioning as well. Now, friends and family say that Kate was offered this deal, right? All she had to do was confess. And they tried to get her to confess to maybe you accidentally killed her by offering, they offered her this deal to say this, like, confess that you accidentally did it and then you hit her body and disposed of her. And then we can guarantee you a 2-year jail sentence or maybe even less.
That's terrible.
It is terrible. But they
And the,
always said they were innocent.
and the thing is too, like, why would you only give somebody that did that 2 years or less?
I know it's like they were just wanting to close the book on the case or something. And they were like, no, we didn't do it. And
How
they always professed that they were innocent.
how far did you say again that like where they were having dinner was away from the room?
130 feet. I mean, it was right there. Obviously, it
Yeah.
was walkable and doable to check in on them every 20 to 30 minutes.
So
And
to
this was
me,
a thing that they all did. It was a very social place. This is what they all did.
it sounds like that it would be equivalent to having a big house and having dinner outside in your backyard.
Yeah, it does sound like that. or at your neighbor's house.
Yeah.
Maybe at your neighbor's house and you're checking in
Yeah.
every 20, 30 minutes from your neighbor's house. Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. Because I looked up too how, like, the guy, how far he lived away.
Mm-hmm.
And like a football field is like, I think like 350 feet, it said.
Oh, okay. So
So I was
even
just trying
that's
to,
not far
yeah, I
either.
was trying to
So
get like a picture.
I'm glad you did that. That helps a lot. So I think that will help people understand the distance that we're talking about here. So they always said, no, they didn't do it. And there was no signs that you would normally see if there were any like parent involvement or mental illness or instability or history of child abuse or anything like that. There was nothing like that existed in their background. So in 2008, they were cleared as suspects. But in September, when the McCanns returned to Britain, a day later, the chief inspector, I'm going to butcher this name because I mean, this is just a different language, but Tavares de Almeida, okay, of the Policia Judicia, which is police department. And okay, we get the point, right? He signed a 9-page report concluding that Madeleine died in the apartment as a result of an accident. The dinner and rotated checks of the children have been part of a planned cover-up, and that the friends of the family helped mislead the police, and the McCanns concealed the body and then faked the abductions. That's what this guy said in a 9-page report.
What?
Yeah.
This is all like theory. Like it's not fact.
It's
It's
not fact. No.
not at
No.
all.
Mm-mm. Now, on October 2nd, Chief Inspector Guanacalo Emerald was removed from the case and transferred after alleging that the British police were only interested in pursuing leads favorable to the McCanns. He later published a book called Maddie, The Truth of the Lie, which would result in a lengthy court battle with the McCanns until 2017.
So he was on their side.
No, I don't think so. Because
Oh.
why would they be fighting in court?
Oh. Like I listened to that wrong because I was thinking like he quit the force because he wanted to clear their name.
No, he was removed from the case, and he said that people were only interested in pursuing leads that favored the parents. So, and then he came out with that book. So they were in and out of court battling this stuff for years. Yeah, but I mean, the trail was cold. There was no closure in sight. The McCanns continued to publicize their cause. They were doing like the computer generated images where they're aging the child, what the child would look like as she got older, that type of thing.
Like
Yeah.
the age progression.
Yes, thank you. That's the word I was looking for. They were doing that, trying to keep her in the spotlight still. Have you seen her? They still maintain this website that they created then. Like it's still current and up to date. They update it, here and there.
It seems like John Walsh voiced his opinion on the matter too, but I couldn't tell you
I think you're right. I think he did. Because I remember reading something about they talked about his son and his abduction and so forth.
Sorry.
So yeah, he probably did touch base on that since he could relate. Now if I remember right, I'm sure they had plenty of leads, and they followed up on all of them. But you know how people are like, oh, I think I saw her, or you know how people do. They're not always it or anything. But the McCanns end up publishing the book of their own called Madeleine, which I quoted from earlier. And they released that in May of 2011. I have not read that, so I don't know anything about it. If I had more time, I would have bought it and read it. But yeah, we ran out of February like really fast before I knew it, I was like, oh my gosh. And I'm still pulling information for this. But anyways, back to the story. So the trail went cold for a very, very long time. All these theories are coming up. Did the parents do it? Did they cover her up? An accidental death? Did somebody take her? Was she dead now? What happened? Well, in mid 2020, German authorities identified 40-year-old man Christian Brickner, I think is how you say his last name, but he was a suspect. But again, lack of evidence prevented any convictions. Now, he received a 7-year sentence in December 2019 for raping a 72-year-old American woman who was in Portugal in 2005. He was in the process of appealing that sentence when he was linked to the Madeleine case, but was serving a 21-month sentence at the time in Germany for dealing drugs. So there's that. See, he had been living in a Volkswagen camper van in that area of Madeleine's disappearance at that time.
Oh.
And one woman come forward and suggest that she saw a girl that might have been Madeleine speaking German in a supermarket in Portugal in 2017. German investigators classified their probe into his movements as a murder inquiry because they said that they were working on the assumption that Madeleine is dead and they were reporting in July 2021 that they found an abandoned cellar beneath that guy's like former allotment, which I assume is like maybe this house or apartment near Hanover where she could have been held captive. Now, Hans Christian Walters, the prosecutor leading the investigation into that guy, he said that he is very confident that the inmate is responsible for kidnapping her. He said, quote, "If you knew the evidence we had, you would come to the same conclusion as I do, but I can't give you details because we don't want the accused to know what we have on him. These are tactical considerations," he told the BBC. He was never charged in connection to Madeleine's case and denies any involvement. In an interview with CNN, prosecutor Hans Christian Walters of the public prosecutor's office, who was leading the investigation into the suspect, he said, actually have findings that suggest he is Madeleine McCann's murderer. I would love to know what they have on this guy. I
Me
don't know.
too. Yeah.
He said at the moment there is insufficient evidence to convict. According to people.com, in April 2022, Portuguese prosecutors said that there was an official suspect in the case. In the statement, according to Reuters, and authorities did not reveal the name of the alleged individual, but said that he was identified as a suspect after they acted on a request made by the German and British police. The Associated Press reported. It remains unclear if the person they are currently looking into is that same guy or someone new. When I went to their Kate and Jerry's website, the Madeleine website, they said on their welcome the news that a suspect had been named during this time and said, quote, "Even though the possibility may be slim, they have not given up hope that Madeleine is still alive and will be reunited with her." Under the section, like when you go on their website, they have a "Why do we continue?" section. And I had to mention this because it's just, I don't know. It's like all. So why do we continue? They say there's absolutely nothing to suggest that Madeleine has been harmed. They said that Madeleine is still missing and someone needs to be looking for her. They said that she is young and vulnerable and needs our help. And they said, we love her dearly and we miss her beyond words. So,
yeah. I mean, why wouldn't they continue to look for her?
Yeah. Why wouldn't? I mean, it's your child. I would never stop looking for my child. So you guys are probably wondering, like, this is an old story. Why why cover it now? Well, this is what brought it to my attention. All over TikTok. Yeah, I'm a TikTok person. I like TikTok. Okay. I'm on TikTok and this girl comes up and all these videos, and she has an Instagram, and she thinks, okay, she brings up Madeleine McCann's story. And she's this Polish woman, and her name's Julia. And let me tell you, she's got 3 last names. Some articles say this last name, that name. I just left her last name out. I'm leaving her full identity out. She's easy to find if you just Google after I tell you more about her. So her name's Julia. She's a Polish woman. She's 21 years old, and she's claiming that she could be Madeleine McCann. And although the age doesn't quite match because Madeleine would be 19, not 21, she thinks that the documents that she does have been falsified. She said she puts a lot of videos talking about why she thinks she could be Madeleine, and she even shares quote unquote evidence, including like birthmarks on her arms, and she has like the same defect in her right eye that Madeleine had. I'll post pictures on our Facebook. You can definitely see her eye looks different. And this girl's eye is the same way. It's very rare, very, very unique. Do with that as you will. She said she doesn't remember large parts of her childhood, and that she was abused by German pedophile Peter Ney, who was Martin Ney's son, who was a pedophile and German serial killer who was also a suspect in the McCann case. Her Instagram account is called I Am Madeleine McCann. And she posted how her grandmother had said something to her that led her down this path. And she claims that her parents are just like really weird about things, and like they don't have any photos of her, like as like her mom being pregnant with her, stuff like that. And she just thinks it's odd, and things just don't add up for her. And she also had issues getting her birth certificate. Now, her parents, they refused to do a DNA test, and they claim that they have proof that Julia belongs to them. They also claim that Julia left the family home and took the photos with her. And they also say that she is mentally ill. So the latest updates on her is that she was wanting to do a DNA test to find out for sure if she's Madeleine or not. And from what I understand, the McCanns have agreed to do the DNA test to see if there's any validity to the story. It doesn't hurt, right? Just
right.
Rule it out. That's where we're at right now, is we're waiting. We're just waiting for any results with this DNA test that's been taken.
And so many questions, like maybe she was kidnapped and these people, in quotations, illegally adopted her.
Mm-hmm.
Or is she really mentally ill and she really does think she's Madeleine? Maybe the DNA test would prove to her that she is Julia.
Yeah, I mean, when I watch the videos of her, I really believe that she believes that she doesn't know who she is. And I feel for her, because we hear kids being kidnapped all the time, or abducted, or human trafficking out there. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I looked up as late as last night to see if there was any news that I can give you guys for updates. And the latest thing that came out was Julia's private investigation into her true identity has also now expanded to consider the possibility that she might also be a different missing child. And this child is a Swiss girl named Livia Schlepp. Schepp.
Hmm.
I think that was another big story, but I don't know enough about that to give you more information. But she's thinking she could possibly be even her. So we are just waiting. And from what I understand, this girl, Julia, has removed her Instagram account.
She looks sad.
Yeah, I don't know if she's getting harassed by people or if
Oh, I'm
she's
sure.
disappearing into the dark, or I don't know, but I really hope, you know what? I'm gonna Google right now if there's any update. Just Julia Bean, Madeleine McCann.
I mean,
8 hour.
when I looked at the pictures, like I was looking at the chin and stuff, and I'm like, nah, I don't think so. But the eye thing,
The eye thing does, but you know what? I saw in one video where she posted, there's like a picture of her mom, quote unquote, and I think she looks a lot like her. I think that could be her kid. Um, okay, this article came out a couple hours ago, and it says Julia, the young woman who claims to be Madeleine McCann, has her Instagram profile shut down. Um, let's see. Yeah, it says that her parents have come out to deny any claims by their daughter, suggesting that Julia suffers from mental problems and that her only goal is to be famous. So she now has been suspended from Instagram, and the account where she posted her tests have been removed.
she posted the DNA test.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, we do know it's true that people really do that.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that are imposters.
It says the haters reported her account and have been spreading lies. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. And as soon as I hear something, I will definitely jump on here with you all and tell you if we get any updates, even if it's for a minute. I don't know. I'm keeping an eye on it. I'm really hoping that we get answers soon. I just hope one way or another she gets what she needs. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad for the McCanns. Because I just wonder, does this give them hope, or do they feel, I don't know, just putting up a wall against it because they've been down this road before, or
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But that is the story of Madeleine McCann, and I hope that she's still alive out there and she gets to come home someday. I don't know. That is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this Patreon bonus episode. If you like it, there's different tiers on our Patreon. The link will be in the show notes, and you can just join and get these bonus episodes. We do one a month, and we try not to be late. It happens this month. Things happen, but we make it up to you. It's all right.
We're usually not so serious.
I know. This one's just like really got to me. I've been really following it, trying to figure it all out. And I'm like, is it her? Is it not her? The eye thing? I don't know. Go back
Like
and forth on it.
it's like emotional as hell. Like,
It really is. But we'll let you go here. And that is all. Until next time, goodbye.
bye.